Many of you have heard me preach on Matthew 25:31-46 before. And I've incorrectly said that this is the test of Christianity. Nay, this is the test of humanity. This shows you whether someone has a soul. This shows you whether someone has been touched by the divine, or if someone is evil to their core. For if someone forever takes money from the poor and repeatedly, forever, over and over and over, gives the money to the rich, you know that person is on the left, is not human, for they have no heart. If they live in the lap of luxury and they do nothing to assist those around them that are dying in a flood in Houston, that are dying in fires in California, that are dying of starvation and homelessness around the country and around the world, then I ask you, how can these men and women be called Christian? They cannot, for they are not Christian, and they are not leaders. They are not leaders among Christians, nor are they leaders of Americans. For you look at those who are the quote-unquote leaders of the Republican Party, and you see them filthy, stinking rich. And you see that they have taken the money from every single program that is the fallback for the poor. And now they even are taking money from Social Security, Medicare, to further enrich themselves. They are not human. And if they go forth in this next year campaigning, and if Vice President Pence dare say that he is Christian, he shall be struck down by mighty lightning, for he is not Christian. He doesn't even recognize Bible verses from Shakespearean plays. He is not a man of Christ. He is a devil. Just as Trump is a demon, for he sold his soul to the devil. And as far as those living high on the hog in Houston, but not giving to those who are dying in the streets in a flood, how about that, Joel Osteen? How about it? You wouldn't even let them come into the auditorium of your church. because you said it had just been cleaned. And yet, we saw on photos that it wasn't. Because the cleaning people couldn't get there because of the flood waters. Creflo Dollar, Pat Robertson, oh, there's one I could go off on for hours. T.D. Jakes, Benny Hinn, Jamal Bryant, and the worst of them, Franklin Graham, Kenneth Copeland. Together in 2019, these are the latest numbers, folks, $17 billion, or in the words of the BBC, 17,000 million dollars they collected. Tax-free for themselves, not for their churches, but for themselves, because they keep telling the stupid fools that they send their money, they'll go to heaven. And these stupid fools believe them. They will go to hell. But they need to have all of their money taken by the IRS, because they are not a church. Not when Joel Osteen can't properly quote Matthew 25:31-46, because they don't use the Bible. No. And none of the Republicans in the Senate can properly quote it either. They get lost somewhere around the goats and the sheep, for they have all lost their way. If any of you is going to vote Republican, ask your candidate, when have you helped the least of us? And not with your money. When have you shown by your vote that you are Christian? When have you put up in Congress? When have you shown us by doing your job that you are a Christian? That is what matters. When have you gone out with your own time and helped a human being? For none of them have. In this year of election, this is the test. Ask it of every candidate. When have you helped the least of your brothers and sisters? Tell me. When have you shown that help in Congress and in the Senate? Tell me. Show me.